Coming up on this special Christmas edition of AgweekTV, we're at Norman Lutheran Church near Kindred, a country church that's thriving even as others struggle. The debt in the big McMartin farm bankruptcy case has risen to $63 million.
It's a tough job that needs to be done. This workshop will help you do it.
And we'll tell you about some new seed technologies that will be available for the 2018 growing season. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shauna Olson. Merry Christmas. We're joining you from the Norman Lutheran Church near Kindred, North Dakota. It's located a few miles out of town, nestled on a riverbed. Country churches have served the rural community for more than a century, and in many areas, the congregations are dwindling and rural churches are closing. But that's not the case here at the Norman Church. In fact, the church is thriving and has about 450 members in its congregation. The church was established in 1872, and we'll hear more about the Norman Church and its mission later in the show. The trustee in the large McMartin farm bankruptcy is alleging fraud, and the amount of debt has risen to more than $63 million. Last February, MCM, a large farming operation led by Ron McMartin Jr. of St. Thomas, North Dakota, filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, estimating $12 million in assets and $50 million in debts. It was one of the region's largest farms with 39,000 acres of high-value crops. Trustee Eric Algren says so far he's collected $9 million to be distributed to creditors. The amount of debt has gone up as the claims are finalized. But investigators are looking at where assets went, including a lake home valued at more than $1 million.
Our complaint is alleging both actual fraud, meaning that the transfer was being made with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud creditors, and also alleging constructive fraud, meaning that it was transferred at a time when the transferor was insolvent and it was being transferred for less than reasonably equivalent value.
The largest creditor is BMO Harris Bank, which is owed $43 million. McMartin has until early January to respond to allegations about the Lake Place Trust. There are always new products hitting the market as growers get ready for the 2018 growing season. At the recent Northern Ag Expo, we met up with seed companies to find out what's new. Scott Anderson is a seed sales specialist for CBIS.
We have a new plant breeding technique called gene editing, where we are able to go into a plant cell and make positive changes based on what we want to almost accelerate any mutation that could occur in nature.
He says they can get traits they want without adding any foreign genes, and they qualify for non-GMO status. He says there will be 3 new canola varieties on the market for 2018.
We're also developing a non-GMO flax that has a herbicide-tolerant trait. And we're working on rice and potatoes as well. And rice is a herbicide event, and potatoes a disease-tolerant trait.
Dairyland Seed is excited about Enlist E3 soybeans. They're still waiting for approval from the European Union and China, but through a closed-loop system, the seed will be available for the next growing season.
We do have approval. Jenny, hold the door because things will be getting really excited.
With tolerance to 2,4-D choline glyphosate and glufosinate, Enlist E3 soybeans will allow farmers to employ multiple herbicide modes of action post-emergence.
I've actually seen it probably 4 years ago, sprayed next to tomatoes and seen no injury situation. It's a new technology, a new compound of 2,4-D called 2,4-D choline. That does not move.
Ray Hybrids is a regional brand for Monsanto. They specialize in corn and soybeans for the Dakotas.
This year in our catalog, we actually brought on several new products that's going to improve on that IDC score, get growers into that new technology that they need for weed control, and really see the performance that they're expecting.
The company is looking forward to the next generation of technology coming, perhaps as early as 2019 for growers, but 2018 for Ray Hybrid test plots.
So it's actually going to have Roundup, it'll have dicamba, and it'll also incorporate Liberty into the same plant. So now that gives growers the option to pick the tool that works best for them.
The most important part of succession planning is getting started. It can be a complicated and emotional process, but NDSU is offering a series of workshops to make it a little bit easier. Jonathan Knudsen was at one in Hope, North Dakota.
Farm succession planning is one of the most important and challenging jobs in modern ag. We're here at a workshop that will help farm families get started.
I'm hoping to learn about how to pass the farm on to my son.
Nathan Lundy ranches near Cooperstown, North Dakota. He's 60 and thinking about retirement. His son hopes to take over. So they've come to this NDSU Extension workshop to learn more about succession planning.
I want to do it well. I want him to succeed, and I thought, well, this is a good way to get some information. I've got questions about, how to do it, and I want to do it right.
Workshop organizer Kelsey Hoffman says communication is the starting point.
The biggest issue that we see with succession planning is obviously getting started. You might have it up in your mind of what you want your succession plan to be like, but you need to start that communication. You need to start that communication maybe with your spouse or your next generation to figure out what they may think your succession plan should be like, or if they're even interested in what you're thinking your succession plan would be.
NDSU developed this 5-part Design Your Own Succession Plan. The goal is helping producers decide what they want their plan to look like.
And so it's really a good way to have those producers come, learn a little bit, go home, think about it, and have those conversations with their family members.
The average age of farmers is nearly 60, and about half of them don't yet have a succession plan. It can take nearly a decade to put a good one together. Having one, though, can be the key to leaving a legacy for future generations. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knudsen.
Ahead on this special holiday edition of AgweekTV from Norman Lutheran in Kindred.
It's another year of big soybean yields here at the South Dakota Soybean Yield Contest.
Make every minute of the growing season count. Schedule your equipment for a genuine Case IH parts and service uptime inspection at Titan Machinery. Our professional service technicians have the training and experience to pinpoint and repair problems before they have a chance to shut you down during the season. Avoid the high cost of in-season downtime. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing your equipment is ready to work. Schedule your equipment today by going to uptime18.com or calling your local Titan Machinery dealer. That's Titan Machinery, providing you with genuine Case IH parts and service.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Superior Grain Equipment offers storage and drying solutions designed for your grain handling needs. Mixed flow grain dryers from Superior offer even heating to reduce heat stress cracking, so you get higher quality grain, higher test weights, and better prices. Plus, they use half the energy of conventional screen dryers. Experience cost savings and superior grain conditioning. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 miles right here, now having time's up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
There's a new organization in North Dakota that's dedicated to promoting the livestock industry. The North Dakota Livestock Alliance was developed about a year ago. It was created by farmers to help other farmers raise livestock successfully and responsibly in the state. The Alliance is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that will help farmers and ranchers grow the livestock industry. Craig Jerolemic is the NDLA chairman and says it's their job to calm fears and misinformation about livestock operations. The NDLA plans to work to strengthen the connection with consumers to instill confidence in the practices used by ranchers.
Livestock operations can actually bring a lot of value to a community and can bring a lot of value to crop farmers and other farmers in the area. So we're trying to bridge the gap and try to bring that information together so that everybody can make a sound decision whether that operation is a good fit for that community or not.
The organization was developed through a collaboration with the North Dakota Soybean Council and several other state commodity groups. 2017 wasn't a record year for soybean production in South Dakota, but it was close. Soybean yield surprised many farmers, and those results were evident in this year's soybean yield contest. Michelle Rook was there and talked to the winners about the secrets to their success.
Despite a challenging growing season, farmers posted some big yields in this year's South Dakota Soybean Yield Contest. Many farmers planted late and then were hit by drought, so the yields were surprising.
The yields were still very well. They were not like a record year of last year, but the farmers, they always seem to come through.
Corey Standy was first place overall, raising 92.2 bushels soybeans, which he attributes to paying attention to details.
Take tissue samples, take soil samples, go to meetings, listen, learn, and don't be afraid to try new things.
Tim Hofer won the master class with a 98.6 bushel per acre yield. He relies on no-till, high populations, and fertility.
We try to doctor our acres where we want to get them out there. Put on whatever we need, but we do a lot of manure too.
A new class was added for youth, and Samuel Bender shared the secret to his 72 bushel beans.
I think it's the strip till, placing the fertilizer where it needs to be, right on the row versus in between the row.
However, beyond the awards, it's the data collected from the contest that's helping push yields year after year.
We always wanted to give back to the farmers of the South Dakota, and that's one way we can do is compiling all this data and giving back their information.
In Sioux Falls, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
South Dakota farmers produced 25 million bushels of soybeans with an average yield of 45 bushels per acre, down slightly from 2016. Your holiday weather outlook is up next, and later we'll talk to a longtime member of Norman Lutheran Church to see what makes it so special. We're excited to bring you the new Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you. Download the new Ag Week app today.
Midwest Bank knows the business of ag. That's where our roots are. We have a commitment to agriculture and believe in the farming families in our communities. We salute these doers. Your dedication to the land powered by financial resources is what gets things done, now and into the future. Turn to Midwest Bank, where we understand farming and can keep you and your operation going strong. Doers, welcome.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. It is cold. It has finally gotten very cold here at the tail end of the year. Seriously cold, I think it's fair to say, here at about Christmas time. But that obviously representing a major change in the atmosphere pattern, which we'll talk about. We've also, at least across most of North Dakota, not so much South Dakota, and not as much further places south, we have some substantial snow cover now, but it's of a very content. So we really have not made any inroads on a moderately dry soil condition across the northern plains. The pattern looks cold and dry for the immediate future. How we got here? This is fairly remarkable because it's been well documented that the weather in Alaska the last few weeks has been way above average. There's a blocking pattern where the jet stream splits into two parts out across the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. And what's happening is this frigid air, and all of this is near or sub-zero daytime, has actually gotten to us from central Siberia over the North Pole and then down through the Hudson Bay region. More typically, we get cold weather from Alaska or the Yukon into the northern plains, but this is a cross-polar flow that has brought this very cold air into the region, which is why we're able to get this cold, even though the usual source is not that cold. So where does it go from here? Well, with the jet stream dipping down the way it is, it's going to stay pretty cold through this week. By the way, this purple, that's like Arctic air. That's near zero or below daytime. The cold stuff, the blue, that's where I would call below freezing or near freezing daytime. And then further south, you can just imagine what those things. But it's going to stay pretty well frigid. North Dakota, northern Minnesota, a few breaks where it goes to maybe 8 or 5 or 10 above this week, but the cold air will actually come back, and the whole central part of the country is in a cold weather pattern. As we slip ahead to the second week, we'll find actually the cold air will be resurging in early January, although I do think we'll get a little bit of a break toward the end of that first week of the month. Precipitation-wise, it's mostly going to be around the periphery because this is all pretty dry. There'll be some rain in the Pacific Northwest, some snow mostly in the high mountains of the Rockies. Most of the midsection is going to be pretty dry. The rain and snow will keep reforming down south and then move up the Atlantic seaboard, and that's really where the precipitation is going to be over the next couple of weeks. We're just not going to see that much else precipitation-wise. As we move into the second week, there will again be a chance for some deep south snows and some rain and snow along the eastern seaboard, probably not very much precipitation in the middle. So the serious cold is here. Snow has covered the ground for parts of the region, but the forecast looking generally cold and dry for most of the next couple of weeks.
TrueFlex Land Rollers. TrueFlex Land Rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
Make every minute of the growing season count. Schedule your equipment for a genuine Case IH parts and service uptime inspection at Titan Machinery. Our professional service technicians have the training and experience to pinpoint and repair problems before they have a chance to shut you down during the season. Avoid the high cost of in-season downtime. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing your equipment is ready to work. Schedule your equipment today by going to uptime18.com or calling your local Titan Machinery dealer. That's Titan Machinery, providing you with genuine Case IH parts and service.
Superior Grain Equipment offers storage and drying solutions designed for your grain handling needs. Mixed flow grain dryers from Superior offer even heating to reduce heat stress cracking, so you get higher quality grain, higher test weights, and better prices. Plus, they use half the energy of conventional screen dryers, experience cost savings, and superior grain conditioning. Make the superior choice today with superior grain equipment.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Welcome back to AgweekTV. Rural churches have been a huge part of farming and ranching life for decades, and that's the case here at Norman Lutheran Church near Kindred. Laura Laughlin is the pastor here, and she joins us. Your church was started in 1872. Give us a little history of this church.
Well, Norman Lutheran is the oldest Norwegian Lutheran congregation in the Dakota Territory, so it's been around for a long time. And the building that we're standing in is the third of Norman Lutheran. The first two burned down, so it's had a long-standing history. It's withstood a lot of test of time and still as strong as ever, I would say.
Tell us about your congregation. I would imagine this is in a farming community. You have farmers and ranchers here as well as city dwellers.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of farming families that go back generations, which is really cool. It kind of feeds into the history of the place. This church, it didn't used to just be out here on its own. It used to be part of a small town, and there's remnants of that town back in the woods behind us, and it's just sort of this piece of history that's really cool.
It's a time when a lot of rural churches are dwindling, but you are seeing the opposite. Your congregation is growing and thriving.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We do pull out of Kindred some, and then from the surrounding areas as well. And I don't know, God's doing something cool, and we're growing and just sort of along for the ride, which is pretty cool.
All right, thank you. Also joining us now is longtime member Beulah Rusted. Beulah, tell us about the history with you and this church.
Well, I was baptized, confirmed, and married here. I sang at my own wedding right here.
Oh.
And so that is quite a memory.
And as a child, how did you guys get to church?
I can remember coming in the Model A on the way home. We had a road that was what we called gumbo, and it left pretty deep ruts. Those Model A's were notorious for, it would take the steering wheel right out of your hand. Oh, no. And it did. And we went down the ditch.
Beulah, what is it about this church that's so special to you?
I think it's just the right size for feeling it's a family. And, you just are a part of everything. And if you have problems, they help you with it.
Such great memories out here, Beulah. Thanks for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
Coming up next on AgweekTV, some North Dakota growers may be able to get money to try planting cover crops. We'll tell you why. Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, Agweek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580. We're excited to bring you the new Agweek app with useful features and the latest news and information. Get your Agweek news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Agweek with you. Download the new Agweek app today.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
The public is increasingly demanding antibiotic-free meat, and the industry is trying to respond quickly. That was the message to producers at the North Dakota Poultry Industry Convention in Fargo. New regulations are making it harder to use antibiotics, so producers are trying to make the shift proactively, thanks to things like biosecurity and pathogen-free water. Still, it's a difficult issue that may need compromise.
What other products and practices we need to do so that we don't necessarily need the antibiotics as a crutch. The problem with that is people, turkeys, animals get sick, and so we need judicial use of antibiotics at the same time. So I think it should be more, we're going to raise birds with less antibiotics.
Turkey producers want to remind you that the bird isn't just for the holidays anymore. Turkey is served year-round and is seeing an upswing in the market. The meat is high in protein and low in calories and is growing in popularity year-round. Carl Wittenberg operates a large turkey operation in North Dakota and a plant in Minnesota. He says the staples now are ground turkey and turkey deli meat. There's also growing diversity offered in the grocery stores.
We have hot dogs, we have turkey bacon, we have a lot of sausage products, we have bratwurst, breakfast. We just have a lot of diversity right now going for us, so that's helping the consumers.
Wittenberg says Mexico is the #1 trading partner for turkey. Many producers are interested in grazing cattle with cover crops on their land, but they're concerned about the financial risks of implementing a new practice. So several recreational and conservation groups applied for a grant from the North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund to provide cost-share help to producers who want to try cover crops on their cropland. The pilot program, funded with a $625,000 grant, is called the Cover Crop and Livestock Integration Project. It's open to producers in 11 North Dakota counties in the Duck Migration Flyway and the Prairie Pothole region. The program will last 5 years, but Ducks Unlimited is hoping producers will continue the practice of cover crops after that. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV, and a special thanks to Norman Lutheran Church for hosting us. We here at AgweekTV would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and be sure to check out next week's show where we take a look back at some of our most popular stories of the year. Happy holidays, everyone.